This is a great day for America. Our plaintiffs now get to go back to California and together with every other citizen of California, marry the person they love.
I truly believe that every vote counts. We feel today that the Supreme Court's decision invalidates those votes of nearly 10 million people who came out to say that they believe that marriage is between a man and a woman.
Charles, your thoughts on the overall picture here?
Overall, the decision, I think, will inevitably lead to the overturning of all the laws in all the states that disallow gay marriage. And it is in the rationale of the Kennedy opinion. The Kennedy opinion that says that the states are sovereign on the issue of marriage, and thus the federal government cannot impose its definition on the states. If Kennedy had stopped with that, it would have been a conservative decision. It would have been essentially a way of saying status quo prevails. Those states that allow it will allow it, and those will do otherwise. But he had a second rationale. It wasn't just the Federalist one. And the second rationale was the reason that the federal government cannot discriminate in states in which it is allowed between a gay couple and a straight one is because it undermines the Equal Protection Clause. So it's a form of discrimination. So the logic of that is, why is it only discrimination if you discriminate against a gay couple in a state that allows, like New York, and not a discrimination in the state that doesn't allow, like Texas? It doesn't even allow the marriage in the first place. So in this opinion, I think is absolutely inevitable seed of overturning all, essentially nationalizing gay marriage in a way that Roe nationalized and abolished all the abortion laws.
They don't want every bozo coming before the court saying, well, I'm a taxpayer and I don't like this law, therefore I'm suing and taking it to the high court. I think that the jurisdictional issue is very, very important to the federal courts.
That's what.
And the two decisions are contradictory on that issue. They argue that they're going to toss or punt on the Proposition 8 because the government wouldn't defend it. But they have an extensive ruling on DOMA where the federal government wouldn't defend it. That is an obvious contradiction. All it means is they weren't interested in having a fight over Prop 8, and they were interested in having a fight over DOMA.
Members, I'm rising on the floor today to humbly give voice to thousands of Texans who have been ignored.
In the end, we had 15 minutes left on the clock. As you probably witnessed, there were attempts to shove every rule aside in order to try to cram this vote through. And the voices of the people who were in the Capitol gallery tonight could not be silenced. And it simply didn't allow the vote to be taken in time.
Most of the people walking in here think this bill will be a complete ban on abortions. It will not. It will simply protect the health of women in Texas.
They're vulnerable and they don't always ask these questions. They don't know the doctor. We're going to make sure that that doctor provides for their immediate care if they have a complication.
Well, it's an evening of procedural analysis, so I would say that neither the Republican leadership nor the Democrats distinguished themselves on procedure. They did not exactly allow her to go unmolested in the filibuster. There were a lot of interruptions, and they tried to get her off the floor. On the other hand, when you heard Wendy Davis speak about the people expressing themselves in the gallery, well, that's a mob expressing itself. The people are represented on the floor through elections, democratic elections. That's the voice of the people. And the mob in the gallery prevented a vote. That's not how you want to conduct business in any state. And that's why I think it's absolutely right that the governor has recalled the Senate and they're going to have a real vote on this.
This has been a Sunfish production.